What's up, collectors? Welcome back to Films by Color. I've got a little discussion video I wanted to do today, hopefully start some good conversation in the comments. And I have a question to pose to you guys. When do you prefer to pick up the box set, and when do you prefer to pick up the individual releases? What is your criteria for making that choice? This was a big topic that came up in the comments of my last video, where I talked about the big 40th anniversary box set from Criterion that's coming out with 40 different films, and really enjoyed talking to you guys in the comments down there. A lot of people were talking about how they didn't want to pick this box set up because they already owned several of the movies in the box set. I myself said the same thing in the video, but some people saying that even if they didn't own too many of the releases, they still wouldn't pick this up because they would prefer to get the individual releases for each of those films. And that was something I meant to mention in the video and I didn't. So here we are. We're doing a follow-up. Hopefully this will be a good conversation starter and we can have some good discussion down there in the comments section. I'm going to talk a little bit about my collecting habits. I've gone and pulled down a ton of box sets from my collection. They're all sitting right here off camera. I'm going to go through those, talk a little bit about some different reasons why I like to pick up box sets, and then hopefully I can turn it over to you guys and we can continue that conversation down in the comments. I did want to mention right off the top, I'm not going to be talking about trilogy box sets or franchise box sets. So you can see the Three Colors trilogy back there, Irish Folklore trilogy, the trilogy of Faith films from Martin Scorsese right over my shoulder there. Not talking about those, not talking about franchises like the Indiana Jones box set or the Aliens box set, which I have back there, or something like the Conan Chronicles box set that came out from Arrow Video earlier this year. Two films in the same franchise, so it makes a lot of sense to, if you want both of those films, pick them up in the same box set. But today we're going to be talking more about compilation box sets that are made up of lots of different films that are not in the same series, but related in some other way, like through directors or actors or by theme, stuff like that. We're going to be talking about compilation box sets today. That's what this most recent Criterion box set has got me thinking about. So let me go ahead and start by answering the question myself. I agree with those people in the comments. I don't think, even if I had none of the Criterion films that are in that 40th anniversary box set, I think personally, for my money, I would rather go for the individual releases. I'm a big collector. I love actually having the stuff on the shelf, seeing it on the shelf every day when I'm working here in my office. I love all the care that goes into the artwork and the packaging of these sets. It's not just about the movies for me. Obviously, that's the most important part, but I want to appreciate all that work that goes into the packaging and the artwork and the individual booklets, all the creative stuff Criterion does with the booklets. So I think I would prefer picking up the individual releases rather than having this box set that's just kind of a ton of different films that don't really go together other than they're great films. It seems it's a little too random for me. It's not exactly what I go to for a box set. We'll talk about what I go to for a box set in just a minute here, but yeah, that box set doesn't really appeal to me. Also, just on a practical level, I feel like it makes more sense, or I prefer to find films on my own, go on my own film journey through each of the 50% off sales from Criterion and pick up a few films here or there and have a chance to watch them, rather than have this big giant box set just dropped in my lap, this big intimidating set of really, really fine films that I necessarily don't know that I'll get to because I've gotten too many all at once. And that's happened to me before, where I'll buy a big box set and then because I'm continuing to buy other things, I can't get through that whole box set and it kind of sits on the shelf for a while. So I prefer to divvy them up and buy them individually and then go through them one at a time and make each film kind of its own memorable, special moment in my life. So I'll watch the film, I'll watch the supplements, I'll read the booklet, I'll kind of live with that film for a week and have this kind of physical memento of my time with that film, rather than just lumping them all, just throwing a bunch of discs in one giant box set. So that's kind of my thoughts on that whole thing. Am I crazy? Am I out on a limb by myself on this one? Let me know in the comments. But let's talk about some box sets here. Let's talk about some box sets that I do like. First of all, starting with this big one, Ingmar Bergman's Cinema from Criterion. Figured we'd start with this because this is the closest box set to the 40th anniversary box set because it's the exact same packaging. It looks exactly the same. It's this big, huge book inside with all the discs housed in there, but this is different. Instead of being just a random assortment of films, this is a director-focused box set, which is the first big thing I wanted to talk about in this video. Director box sets I love director box sets. That's a big thing for me. I have several of them here we can talk about in just a minute, but getting to check out a filmmaker's filmography, maybe close to his entire filmography. This one's very, very close. I don't think it's complete, but it is really, really close. There's a ton of movies in here, and that is really nice. My one problem with this is, like I said, it's a little intimidating to get through all of it, and also the packaging is not my favorite way to do a box set. It's very cool. It's very unique. I love the book. It looks incredible. It also comes with that big, thick book there with some essays and everything. So I love it, but it's not the best case scenario for me. It's not the top tier of boutique box sets that you can do. Let's talk about some other director box sets that I really enjoy. This is the complete Jacques Tati, also from Criterion, but this is his complete filmography. Jacques Tati, much smaller filmography, just a handful of films, so it is easier to make a complete box set for his works. But I absolutely love this box set. I made my way through it last year, and they are all great, great films. This is a beautiful box set. Each film gets its own digipack release. And there's also a lovely booklet in there with the essays about all of the films, and all of the artwork goes together so well, and it looks great together. One of my favorite box sets from Criterion. Another similar one from another Jacques Demy, also a French director. This is not all of his works, but it is 6 excellent films from this director. I am actually making my way through this one right now. I've only got 1 film left in this box set, and I can't wait to finish that one up. They also put out the complete works of Pierre Atax, which is a smaller digipack, but does have all of his films in there, and that's a great box set as well. Just watched through that earlier this year. Let's move on to another set of box sets that I just got in the mail today. This is another big reason I thought to do this video, not just the 40th anniversary box set from Criterion, but I just got these, and I have to talk to somebody about them because they are amazing. These are the Rainer Werner Fassbinder box sets from Arrow Video. Someone was selling these on eBay for an amazing price, and I happened to get all 3 of them from this seller, and I could not believe the price he was selling all 3 of them for. But these are incredible. These are the best case scenario in my opinion. I love the Criterion box sets that I just showed, but these are kind of a little flimsy. Like I said, they're just digipacks. The outer shell is just a flimsy cardboard. It looks beautiful, but they get damaged super easily. Trying to find one at your Barnes & Noble that's not all dinged up or crushed by the spider wrap that they put on those things is getting harder and harder these days. But these Arrow Video box sets, incredible, absolutely wonderful, totally worth the price. This is Fassbinder Volume 1. It's got 6 films on that one. Fassbinder Volume 2 and Fassbinder Volume 3. And now this is your standard limited edition hardcover case that goes with all of Arrow Video's limited editions. And then each film gets their own plastic case inside, and you get an extra thick box set booklet there. So these are my preferred way to do director box sets. I love the Criterion stuff, but these ones from Arrow Video and Indicator and Radiance that package them like this, I think this is perfect. I wish everybody was doing this. These are super sturdy and beautiful box sets. The artwork on these is insane. Look at that. They actually go together to make one giant image when you get all 3 of them together. Other labels obviously doing great stuff as well, not just Criterion, but that's a great way to do box sets in my opinion, and I would definitely prefer a director-focused box set over just a random assortment of different films from, say, a studio. That's why I am not a huge fan of the big Columbia box sets. I think they're up to Volume 4 of those already. I know a lot of people love those, and they're really, really cool, and the fact that we're getting 4K restorations of so many films, some of those films wouldn't get a chance to be released if not for those box sets. So I'm very thankful for that, and I'm glad that people are getting their hands on those. But personally, I much prefer kind of a themed box set where the films go together than just whatever the studio has the rights to. Let's go ahead and move on to another Arrow box set. This is Arrow Academy, and talk about another kind of adjacent theme of box sets that I also really prefer to pick up. This is the Marx Brothers at Paramount box set, 1929 to 1933. So this is not their complete filmography. You could never do a box set of their complete filmography because they have a ton of films, super prolific. But this is a series of films that they made while they were at Paramount. So this is another kind of theme that you can get for a box set that I really like, especially someone who likes to watch through a director's filmography in chronological order. Seeing their work at a specific studio is really cool. And I made my way through this box set earlier this this year. Me and Grace watched through all these, and they're great. Highly recommend those. Nice booklet in there as well. Arrow Academy, love their box sets. I wish they were still putting stuff out, but we do have Arrow Video now putting out very similar box sets. Indicator also doing similar things to this. This is a John Ford at Columbia box set. 1935 to 1958, so Indicator doing the exact same thing. You get 4 films here from John Ford while he was working at Columbia. So that's a really cool way to get director's filmography into specific box sets. If you can't fit all of their films into one big box set, kind of divide it up through their time at different studios, and I think that is a really cool way of doing it. I like that a lot. And another box set I have that's not exactly the same thing, but is similar to that idea, is the Fritz Lang The Silent Films box set from Kino Lorber. This is a lovely digibook box set that has all of Fritz Lang's silent films in it. So you got that whole period of his career before he switched over to talkies, and that's a great way to do it, and I really appreciate them for putting this out. Tons of films in that box set. And I wish we could get more of these. I wish we would get more box sets collecting the silent films of directors who worked all the way through the silent era and into the sound era. And we just talked about him, John Ford. I'd love a collection of John Ford's silent films from some boutique studio. I know some of them are lost, so we couldn't make it complete, but as many as we could. That would be amazing if they could get the rights to that, or other directors that also worked in the silent era. So director box sets focused on specific studios is a great way to put box sets together. I only have a couple of examples of those. So let me know in the comments if you know of any other box sets that are focused on a specific section of a director's career. I know Indicator does a lot of those. I'm just not up on my Indicator. I don't have that many Indicator box sets, just a few really, really good ones. So I'd love to hear about more of those. So I pulled down a couple examples here of another category of box set that's very similar to a director-studio combo. This is a director-actor combo, and this is going back to Indicator for the Marlene Dietrich and Josef von Sternberg box set. 6 films, 6 collaborations between this director and this actress. Beautiful looking box set, each film getting its own digipack in there with a nice thick booklet as well, covering all the films. This is a gorgeous box set and another really cool way to do this. And I know there's several examples of this. One example I have from Criterion is the Roberto Rossellini and Ingrid Bergman collaborations box set. Just 3 films in this box set, but still a very cool concept for a box set. And I'd love to pick up more of these. Again, focusing on a specific section of an actor or director's career is really interesting to me, and you can kind of see the different phases of their career. And there are a ton of different director-actor combos that you could put together in some really cool box sets. The one that's highest on my wish list that I wish would come true is the Anthony Mann, James Stewart collaborations for those Westerns that they did. They had them on the Criterion channel a while back. I'm not sure if they're still on there, but they did 5 Westerns together, and there was a playlist on the Criterion channel, which was amazing. I watched through a couple of those. I would love a box set of that someday, but let me know if you know of any other collaboration box sets like that, or put some in the comments that you would like to happen, because that's always interesting to me, and I wish I had more of those to show you guys. Another style of box set that I love, and I don't know how often you could do this. You have to have a very specific kind of director to do this next one, and we're getting real granular here, but I love these 3 box sets I'm about to show. One of my favorite directors of all time is Eric Rohmer, and he is a director, if you don't know, that likes to put out films in series, not necessarily like continuity series like I talked about at the beginning, but these are thematic series that he likes to do throughout different parts of his career. So you have to have a very specific director to do this. Like I mentioned at the beginning, the Martin Scorsese trilogy of faith films back there is kind of similar, but that's not really a series. He kind of went back to that theme throughout his career. These are specific eras of Eric Rohmer's career. So his first one here from Criterion, Eric Rohmer's 6 Moral Tales, 6 different tales that he wrote as novels or short stories at the same time that he made them as film scripts, and love this box set. It has actually the short stories and in here, as well as the films. And I've went through this a couple times now. Love this series. This is his early stuff, starting all the way back in the 60s in black and white and moving into the 70s into some early color stuff from Eric Rohmer. Great, great series of films. And then moving forward to some of his 80s and 90s work, we've got this Eric Rohmer collection from Arrow Video that has 10 films in here and includes his 6 film series that he did called Comedies and Proverbs. So all of those are a part of a thematic series that he did, and they're all included in here. Plus you get 4 other films. So this is an incredible box set. Like I said, individual cases, 2 films to a case, and a nice book in there as well. Love these films, love Eric Romaire's work, and these from Arrow Academy and Criterion are beautiful box sets. But then this one here is probably the best box set I own. This is the Tales of the Four Seasons box set from World Cinema Library, a beautiful premium luxury box set where each film not only gets its own case, but each film gets its own slipcase that goes over the film, and you've got beautiful artwork on all of these. I've talked about this before, so I'll just go through it briefly. You also get a nice hardcover book in there. This is the Tales of the Four Seasons box set that I have from World Cinema Library. There also is a box set from Criterion that just came out earlier this year that's also really nice as well. But this is a really cool way to do box sets, especially if you have a director like Romaire who likes to do film series. Let me know in the comments if you know of any other directors that work this way and that it would make sense to put out box sets for different series that they did throughout their career. I think it's a great way to put out box sets, and it's another motivating factor for me to pick up the box set over the individual releases when there is that overarching thematic tone that kind of links the films together. I think that's a perfect excuse to make a box set and to pick up a box set instead of those individual releases. Another really interesting way to do box sets that I would love more feedback from you guys on, because I don't have too many of these, is a film movement box set. I think this is so cool as someone who's like a big film nerd and likes to dig into the different film movements. This is one that I got recently. This is the Commedia all'Italiana box set from Radiance. 3 films from this movement, specifically in Italy. But there's so many of these kind of box sets you could do. You could do an Italian neorealism movement. You could do a French New Wave box set. That's the only other example I could think of, just rummaging through my shelves real quickly, is this other French New Wave box set. Not really a box set, but several films in one release. This is volume 1 of the other French New Wave, a collection of Canadian films from just after the actual French New Wave. But that's a really cool way to do a box set, in my opinion, focusing on a specific film movement. And I know there's a lot of those. I would love a Czech New Wave box set. Like if Criterion did a Czech New Wave box set, that's a day 1 purchase for me. Let me know if you know of any other box sets that are structured like that, because I think that is awesome, and I would love to see more examples of that. This is very similar to that. This is the Cold War Creatures box set from Arrow Video. Not necessarily a film movement, but you can think of it that way, basically. Like these big sci-fi horror, like atomic age, Cold War age, science fiction films like this. It's totally like a movement of film. There was so many of these coming out at this time period, and this is such a cool box set. This is a limited edition from Arrow Video with a booklet and 4 individual cases there. I haven't got a chance to watch these yet. I've been holding out. I've been saving these for Halloween this year. I'm going to dive into this box set, watch all 4 of them, and read up on them this Halloween. So I can't wait to do that. Another kind of similar box set, an era of film history that I think is perfectly encapsulated with a box set, and I would much rather have those in a box set than in the individual releases. One last example here that is similar to a film movement, but not really. This is the only example I have of this. This is the Golden Year box set. Now let me know if you know of any of these, because this is completely very unique and very specific. This is 1939, the golden year, perhaps the best year of film in all of cinema, according to a lot of people. And this is a lovely digibook that has 5 films from 1939. This is a wonderful collection of films and a beautiful box set from Warner Brothers. And I'd love to see more of these. This is another really cool way to collect films, to remember an era of films. Specifically, if you're a person who watches like all of the Oscar films from a specific year, and you kind of have that year logged away by the big films from that year, it could be really cool to have a box set that kind of memorializes that. And I don't know of any other ones. This is the only one I know of. So if you know of any, let me know in the comments below, and just share all of your thoughts in general down there. I've thrown a lot at you. I've asked a ton of questions. Hopefully you have some feedback for me down there in the comments, because this is a topic that I'm always thinking about, honestly, as a collector, deciding whether or not to pick up certain releases. Sometimes you get box sets from different boutique labels that are the same thing, like that Marlene Dietrich box set that I mentioned. Criterion has a version of that too. So if that sounded interesting to you, but you prefer Criterion's style box sets, maybe pick that one up. So there's a lot going on when you're a collector and you're trying to figure out which version is right for you. Should you pick up the box set? Should you pick up the individual releases? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and I can't wait to talk to you about it down there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you love physical media, if you love these kind of discussion style videos, hit the like button, hit subscribe, let me know, and I'll make more of these kind of videos in the future. This is what I want this channel to be, not just about news and updates and all that stuff, but specifically talking to collectors as a collector about why we love this hobby and how we can help each other out, give tips for new collectors. This is what I really want the heart of this channel to be, about the lifestyle of collecting itself, not just physical media. So let me know in the comments, sound off down there if you like this kind of content, and I'll make more of it in the future. But until next time, you keep collecting, and I'll be back with another video real soon.